the lights go out and the sprint race is underway with Marcel Kiefer leading nicely off the line. He's going to lead into turn number 1 ahead of the Williams there, who's trying to go around the outside. Brendan Lee in P3 for the moment. First real braking zone on the racetrack from Flores Villas, who's going to get into trouble there and heading backwards. So up to second goes Brendan Lee. Down goes Alessio to third position. Danny Beresne is in fourth place, and James Baldwin P5 as ever, frenetic off the start line.
Yeah, lots of carbon fibre getting thrown about in the first couple of corners. Alessio De Capa there just behind Brendan Lee, who made a great start in that Ferrari. He looks good in red, doesn't he? The two-time champ of this F1 Esports Pro Series. Marcel Kiefer, what a move to Red Bull he has made. He showed some potential, some prowess in his first few sort of races and season in the F1 Esports Pro Series, but since he's moved, he has been unbelievable, and he helped Red Bull take the championship in the Pro Series as Alessio De Capa nearly losing it through the Maggots and Beckett's complex.
He is qualifying for Nicholas Latifi, and he very nearly lost it. One of the fastest parts of the racetrack. On to the hangar straight they go then, with Danny Beresne trying to move up, and it's as you were. Marcel Kiefer getting that launch off the line that he needed. Brendan Lee in the wheel tracks, energised by his move to Ferrari, I think it's fair to say, and he will be qualifying the car. Different lineup for Ferrari this time. He is qualifying for Robert Schwartzman, 4 times a winner last year in Formula 2. As over the line, here's a chance now for Josh Aduo, trying to line up Samuel Libert, and just not a corner you want to get caught at, but great run through there. Now to turn 3 as we go into the newer section of the racetrack. Couldn't get late on the brakes. And as we go through the loop corner, he's actually coming under pressure from Alvaro Carreton in the second. Williams trying to improve the position for George Russell on the grid, but he's getting squeezed there as they go down the Wellington straight. Nothing between these two.
No, we never get to see these pro drivers with absolutely just sending it for 5 laps. There's usually some element of strategy. You can see Adowu has lost part of his front right end plate there on his front wing, so he's really struggling. He's going to be losing time through every single corner, and the cars behind him are just getting caught up, held in this train. And fortunately for Carreton, he's through in 7th, and Libert has lost touch with it as well, so I imagine there's a bit of damage in this field after quite a frantic first few corners.
Marcel Kiefer qualifying the car for Liam Lawson, the Formula 2 driver of 2021. Brendan Lee right now about to put another Formula 2 driver for this year, Robert Schwartzman, alongside on the grid. And a little bit like we saw from Austria 1 week ago, frenetic opening laps, and then the top 3 really going to work to extend the gap behind, though, very, very tight, and how much you prepared to risk, because these drivers are all going to be working with their virtual GP counterpart later on. Apart from Esteban Ocon, who's going to take the place of the person in the air for Squeezy. We're on lap 3 of 5. Can anyone make a difference later on? Interesting point that you mentioned, Matt, about the fact that normally we see them quite circumspect, just absolutely relentless with their consistency. Here, send it. Let's find out what happens. Marcel Kiefer coming under a little bit of pressure now. DRS open for Brendan Lee. To make the move, not able to shape for a move into Brooklands. There is Marcel Kiefer, race winner in F1 Esports, and he makes his way onto the old pit straight with a decent advantage at this stage, but it's not a comfortable advantage. He's not going to get clear of that 1 second gap.
Yeah, Brendan Lee in the slipstream through the last couple of corners, so closing in on Marcel Kiefer, but this is where he'll struggle with the dirty air ever so slightly. Marcel Kiefer needs to get a good exit down towards Hangar Straight and Stowe Corner. Brendan Lee, DRS wide open, might have an opportunity on Kiefer here if he looks to the inside.
Is he going to send one? No. He had momentum, but decided to tuck back in there. Kiefer's going to be under a lot of pressure. Remember what we saw earlier on, Ferrari into the back of Red Bull at the Vale chicane. It's not going to happen this time, but he's right there now. Kiefer will be comfortable, but he's not going to be pleased that the Ferrari is making that sort of a difference. Brendan Lee just looking to take that pole position by winning this sprint race. How comfortable is he on the brakes about now? Now, Kiefer's got the legs on him in this opening part of the lap.
James Baldwin hanging on very nicely as well. World's fastest gamer, as Tom Deacon mentioned earlier on in the show. Doing a very nice job just at the tail end of this train. And, well, with DRS active, I imagine this fight will go all the way down to the final corner. Brendan Lee actually looking up the inside of Kiefer.
There he is, Brendan Lee takes the lead, and that's a change for the driver who's going to be on pole, then using the DRS and the Ferrari gets past the Red Bull. Robert Schwartzman now looking at starting this virtual Grand Prix at the front, but Marcel Kiefer's not going to take that one lying down. Here we go then, into Kopp's corner, able to follow all the way through. How brave are you feeling into Maggots, which very quickly becomes Beckett's corner. The top three basically glued together as we go through there. And Brendan Lee will lead them on to the hangar straight, having made that move for the lead that put Schwartzman up to P1. Now, Marcel Kiefer trying to respond for Liam Lawson. How brave is he feeling into Stowe? Brendan Lee felt the need to offer that defensive shape. But in the end, he's held on to it. We're about to go on to the final lap of the sprint race.
It's a game of chicken. Do you want to lead going into the final lap or not? I think Marcel Kiefer decided, you know what, okay, Brendan, if you want to fly up the inside, you can lead into the last lap, my friend, and then I can have the use of the DRS. You can see on his steering wheel as well, he's got more than enough battery to attack Brendan Lee. That little bar just underneath where it says overtake, he's got around 40%, more than enough to mount a charge to the Ferrari driver ahead.
Are you ready for a late twist?
Yes.
Because we're going to get two of them. Which one of these drivers is going to get ahead? Also, Brendan Lee, I'm being told, a little bit of an error on the old script. He is qualifying the car for Callum Ilott.
Oh,
so it's going to be Callum Ilott, the runner-up in the Formula 2 Championship last year, who is going to have this car qualified. And look at the discrepancy that we've got. We've got one Ferrari down in 12th, the other, Freddie Rasmussen, out of sorts, you have to say, 13th, not what you'd expect from him. And Marcel Kiefer doesn't appear to have an answer at this stage. He's going to have a big response. Brendan Lee has got a good advantage right now.
Maggots and Beckett's is crucial for Marcel Kiefer to mount a charge. We want to see it around 0.3 of a second between Brendan Lee and Marcel Kiefer. If there's going to be any move down towards Stowe, it's still hovering in the 0.3, now 0.4. Marcel Kiefer maybe a little bit too far back.
Oh, here's the opportunity then for Marcel Kiefer, trying to take victory away, trying to steal away this pole position for later on in the virtual Grand Prix. Will he send one at the end? He's shaping for the move, trying to frighten Brendan Lee off the road. But Brendan Lee is a two-time champion. He's not going to be scared by those tactics, and he puts his driver on pole position by winning the sprint race to beat Marcel Kiefer, and Brendan Lee got the move done. He's put Ferrari on pole.